So I was on GHL SaaS Facebook group when I came across this post. Who has the best website to promote their white label GHL? I'm looking to develop something for selling GHL SaaS to local businesses. Let's compare. And so a bunch of people started commenting their websites that they're using to resell GHL in the comments, and I actually checked out all of them. And to be honest, they were pretty bad. Even somebody in the comments posted this. Wow. Sorry, but most of these weren't great. Again, sorry, just being honest. And one of them wasn't even built on GHL. It was built on WordPress. So there's clearly something we're missing as GHL SaaS agency owners, which means the website templates that we get with GHL are just not good enough. And so that's why in this video, I'm gonna break down the top 3 mistakes that most GHL SaaS agency owners are making with their websites, but more importantly, how to fix them right now. Okay, but first of all, why bother? Well, let me show you why. So this is your competition. These are the type of softwares that are out there. This is Webflow. You know, you're competing against some of the best softwares out there in the world. And so you can't show up with a bad website like this one. If you show up with this type of website, you're just gonna get crushed. So mistake number 1 with SaaS websites is that they look fake. And so what do I mean by that? So when I look at this template, this is one of the most common templates that GHL SaaS agency owners use. And so when you look at it, you can already tell that it looks like a fake template. I mean, the stock photos just is a dead giveaway. One of the worst parts about this website is definitely the graphics. This doesn't look professional whatsoever. I mean, if I just do a quick search online, I can pretty much find the same type of fake stock graphics they are using. And so imagine what a customer is thinking when they see these fake graphics, this fake software. They're for sure not going to trust you. So number 1 dead giveaway is when I see SaaS websites using fake graphics, it's just not good at all. This looks outdated. I don't trust this website whatsoever, specifically if I'm buying software. Software companies are well known for being innovative. I mean, just look at these graphics here, right? This shows that they're the authority in the industry. They know what they're doing. So if you show up looking with either one of these 2 templates that look super fake, with these fake thumbnails, these fake graphics, it's just not good whatsoever. So how do we fix this? How do we fix this huge mistake that most agency owners have? Well, if you look at the best SaaS companies out there, you can see the graphics they're using are real. This is what the actual software looks like. And I think this is what every customer is looking for. What does the software actually look like? Is it intuitive? Is it user-friendly? Is it something that I can see myself using? If we look at Webflow, they have their graphics, but these are all real stuff. This is what Webflow actually looks like. If we look at Klaviyo, this is what Klaviyo looks like. Again, awesome graphics, but these are real graphics from their dashboard. You can see all the features here, reviews, sign up form, audience, content, all that stuff. This is real. And so if I show you one of the templates that we created from scratch for SaaS agency owners in GHL, you can see that the features that we're showcasing are real graphics. So this is what GHL actually looks like. If you've ever built a form, this is what the forms look like. If you've ever had a conversation with somebody, an inbound call, this is exactly what it looks like. And so this is what clients want to see. If you've ever had invoices, this is what the invoice page looks like. If you've ever had to create an automation, this is exactly what the automations look like. And I think that's what clients are looking for. They want to see what the actual software looks like. What they don't want to see at all are these fake graphics that you can just find on a quick Google search. And so the best way to go about it is by building our own custom graphics. If you've ever used a mobile app, this is exactly what it looks like. So you've actually seen that we created this completely from scratch. These are multiple layers, all creating an awesome graphic. We take a look at invoices. This is exactly how you send an invoice, what it looks like in the GHL dashboard. But yeah, as you can see, these are all different layers creating an awesome graphic, and this is just the best way to go about it. Okay, so mistake number 2 that I always see is that your website looks boring. Most of the templates just look outdated and boring. It's just plain, there's a lot of text. They're just not a great experience when it comes to consuming the actual website. If we look at the best SaaS companies out there, their website is just interactive. It's intuitive. It gives me feedback when I hover on certain elements. It keeps the users engaged. If I look at Webflow, there's these cool graphics that are animating as I scroll down. Again, it's just giving me feedback as I'm consuming the website. It's a whole experience, and it just makes for such a good user experience. So how do we solve this issue, right? How do we go from having a boring website just like this to having something that has a awesome experience for your customers? There's a few things we can do. The first one is having some sort of animated elements in the website. A good example is this rotating text that does a couple things, but the first one is telling you who this software is for, but it's also keeping you engaged. You want to see what's coming up next, e-commerce. Then it goes to the next one, local, and so on. We've done this with both of our templates that we have, but it's just a simple way to improve the experience. The second thing we can do is add graphics. So as you saw, a lot of the best companies out there have some cool graphics that animate as you take a look at them. So this graphic right here is showing us some cool stats. It's moving, it's animating. It makes me want to check out the rest of the website. The next thing we can do is create hover effects. So when you hover on something, it gives you feedback. You can see it changing. And so like get started, you can see that it animates. We look at this website, there's nothing giving me feedback. I scroll down, and this just looks like a plain flat page. When I look at the buttons, nothing gives me any sort of feedback, and so it's just a really bad experience. Another thing we can do is animate the photos or graphics. So let me show you one example. So if I scroll down, these kind of animate as I hover. If I scroll down, these also animate. So if you're checking out like avoid losing sales or your way, so you hover and then you get that feedback. I'll show you a couple more. So if we scroll down on this website, these effects, when you hover and it animates, it's just for a way better experience. And even this one right here, when you scroll down and then the laptop is sliding sideways, improves the experience. So these subtle things that you think might not be a big difference improve drastically the experience of your users. If you look inside of GHL, this is kind of what it looks like, but we have animated this text with a bit of code, so it rotates, it cycles through, and then we've also animated these photos so that it slides sideways when we scroll down. Now the photos, we have also added a bit of code so that when you hover on these photos, they zoom out, and so that's how we've been doing this in GHL. Third most common mistake that I see with SaaS websites is that they're not optimizing for conversions. Their CTAs, their call to actions are just not clear. So let's take a look at this one and let me explain what I mean. So the first call to action I see is this button right here, which is get a quote. But if I scroll down, I'll start noticing that there are other CTAs. So if I scroll down a bit more, it says contact department. So now we have two different call to actions. I can get a quote or I can contact the department. Let's keep going. And then I get to the pricing, I can actually sign up. So I have three different options. I can either get a quote, I can sign up immediately, or I can contact their team. So now I'm pretty confused. I don't know which one of those three actions I should take, or which one even takes priority. They all look like they have the same priority on the website. And if I keep scrolling down even lower, I find a request to get a phone call. And so there's four different call to actions. This website for sure is not optimized to convert visitors into users. Four different CTAs in the same page. How confusing does that get? And so the best way to solve this is by optimizing everything towards conversions. So you see here, this clearly takes priority over everything else in the menu bar, which is get started. That's the thing we're optimizing for. Here, it's not really clear which one takes priority. Make sure that your get started is the one that takes the most priority, the most hierarchy in the website. If I scroll down, you'll notice that everything is kind of optimizing to get started. If somebody has questions, of course they should check out the feature section, which is fine. But for the most part, you want to make sure that you're driving people to convert. If I scroll down and we even go to pricing, even though it's telling you what the pricing is, it's still optimizing for getting started. Both buttons are still driving to the same action up here. So whether somebody is at the top of the website or they're at the bottom, we still want to make sure that we're driving them to the same CTA. Now you might be wondering, okay, but a lot of SaaS companies do need to book demos to convert people, and that's fine because we also have a book a demo CTA. But the main thing I'm highlighting is you want to make it simple for people to consume your website and to become a client. So whether you're optimizing to book a demo or whether you're optimizing to sign them up. And so you can have two different call to actions, but you just want to make sure that it's very clear how people can book with you and what is your desired outcome of the website. So here they can also book a demo if they're not quite sure, not quite ready. They want to see the product. They want to see what the software looks like. That's fine. You can also book a demo. But for the most part, get started is just going to drive them to the pricing where they sign up. So the issue with having multiple CTAs is that typically when people are presenting multiple options, it confuses them and it's really hard for them to make a decision. And so we want to make it as simple as possible, as easy as possible. And the less decisions somebody has to make, the more likely they're going to convert into a client. And so even with the other website that we built, as you scroll down, everything is naturally guiding you to take action, to convert, to become a client. If I scroll down, you can see, if I keep scrolling, you can see the features. Then we get back to pricing, but everything is getting me to that CTA. So if you want to have either one of these templates that we built specifically for go high level SaaS agency owners that are awesome, they're fully ready to go, so that you can save yourself the trouble of coding the website, building the website, creating all the graphics, the animations, all that stuff, and building this $4,000 or $5,000 website from scratch, you can just get it for a fraction of the price in the link in my bio.